Hi, I'm Sage, and welcome back to the Addictive Wellness Lifestyle channel. And if this is your first episode, welcome for the first time. I'm Sage, and this is Annablanca. We're the co-founders of Addictive Wellness. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about Annablanca'S origin story, how she got here, where she started, and what her amazing life has all been about up to this point where we're doing these amazing things together. So, Annablanca, as you may know, grew up in the countryside of Hungary.
Yes, hence my crazy accent. So sorry guys if sometimes you don't understand what it is, Sage can always translate. He doesn't even need a Google translator, thank God. So I was born and raised actually in the most organic way. At the time, we didn't even know there is such a thing as organic way. My mom had a home-cooked meal every single day. Every single day she was at home taking care of us. For me, drinking kombucha, which is like a big thing now in Los Angeles, was completely normal. My dad used to make it in these big glass jars, and he called it monkey brain juice, just to get us more excited about it. And it was very, very delicious, actually.
Did you ever think that monkey brains are maybe not a good thing to drink, or you were like right into it?
You know, I have two sisters and a brother, and when you have like a cool little gang going on together, drinking monkey brain juice that gives you superpowers, it was extremely an attractive idea.
Unattractive or attractive?
Very attractive. We were like, oh, monkey brain juice, we are cool. Yeah, and then we would go and just roam the neighborhood in the villages. And my dad gave us royal jelly, bee pollen, which was completely normal as well. It was part of our daily diet. We were helping my mom making fermented vegetables.
Were these things that all Hungarians where you lived were into, or was it your family specifically?
Yeah, everybody. Wait a minute, fermented vegetables, yes. Kombucha and royal jelly, it was mostly my father who was completely into a very alternative, healthy lifestyle. I still remember up till today, he would be meditating upside down, hanging on a tree outside. We would pull him up with a rope and he would be just there chanting. And for me, I thought it was completely normal. Yeah, it was good for his spine. It was like the origin of inverting machine, I think.
So some people might be into things like the teeter inversion tables or yoga swing. In the countryside of Hungary, they tie a rope around your ankles, throw the rope up over a tree, get your kids to pull you up and really hope that they'll hang on tight and not drop you.
Yeah, we actually tied him around the tree trunk and we would just run around. But the neighborhood kids were used to my father, you know, and he was teaching us meditation. He made us lie down on the floor and he would be like, first your head is getting very heavy. Your arms are getting very heavy and sinking into the floor. So he would sort of walk us through to let go of our thoughts. And we were like 3, 4, 5. I don't know other people who were doing that at the time either. Mm-hmm. And as I say, I remember peeling and cutting up vegetables with mom and putting them in glass jars and just putting them in blankets. It was warm still, and we were making preserves like that. It was with sugar, so we didn't have a sugar-free lifestyle, as you can imagine. But we didn't eat the way you would really imagine it was bad. It was just normal amount of sugar. If someone would have showed up with a Coca-Cola in our house, apparently my father would have thrown them out on their ass. So I didn't even see a Coke till I was 19 years old. And we emigrated to Canada. So I didn't even know what it was. We really had more like a paleo lifestyle. We went to the neighbor lady to bring home raw milk. It was completely normal for us. It was like a big steaming hot. It was really literally milk at the time.
It was hot, or it was just fresh?
It was very fresh, but you know when the milk is still fresh. It was.
I don't know. I grew
steaming.
up in Los Angeles. We're not milking cows and carrying.
Like we had like a little way to sneak through the back of the garden to go to the neighbor lady, and we would be bringing it home. I didn't like it warm though. I have to tell you, it was okay when it was cooled down. And we ate meat, we ate dairy, but it is part of, like, Hungarians were nomadic people, so for us dairy was very much part of our lives, and meat as well. We had infrared light. If you had like a headache, my dad would make us to sit down in front of it. Mom would be making really the best food every single day for us.
We're talking about best from a health perspective or a deliciousness perspective?
It was very delicious, but if you think about it, if you're really eating organic food, that the vegetables are grown in your own garden,
Yeah.
and you're getting all the ingredients within a couple of miles. Or my dad was a veterinarian taking care of animals, so like 3 or 4 villages. So people would be bringing things, thank you, Mr. Doctor, and take this big piece of sheep cheese I just made yesterday. I mean, you didn't think this is organic, no pesticides, no GMOs, sugar-free or whatever. It was just food and healthy and
that's like how they say there's those things that people post on social media, organic food, or as your grandparents knew it, food. But in this case, it was even during your generation.
I mean, at the time it was still behind the Iron Curtain, so we really didn't think of there is anything else could be done to be messed with your food. We had food, and it was so good. I still remember the taste of the tomatoes. Tomatoes, guys, actually had such incredible taste. Haven't had that for a very long time. Heirloom tomatoes, I think they taste like that.
When we were just in Hungary, though, over the holidays, were the tomatoes what you remembered, or it's different now?
No, it's different. But we were only in the city, we didn't go to the countryside.
Mm.
Next time we go in the summertime in the countryside.
All right.
We'll have probably more fun. Actually, we still had fun, but it will be we'll discuss that another time, or the hot springs. We would always be running around barefoot. And at the time I didn't know how good it is for you when you're actually barefoot on the ground and you keep getting grounded, which is also another subject I love to talk about. We were swimming in the river. We were playing outside. We were really just in a very natural way. So much natural way, and this is one of the favorite family story. We would be going out and picking things up in the garden, eating it, having fun. At one time, my mom would be yelling for my father, like, Paul, the kids are picking up and eating the dried chicken shit, right? And my dad's answer was, it's good for them, it's just phosphor. You know, it's a good trace mineral. So as I said, you can have
amazing.
Yeah. Well, but then after that, we had a lot of problems, political problems. So we were refugees and we emigrated to Canada. And a lot of things have changed when we went there. I remember when we just arrived, our bodies were not used to the chemicals in the food. So I immediately had crazy acne on my face, on my back. Even if I just lean back in a chair, it would be like painful acne. So that was a long time to get over it. I even would be taking, because I was a desperate teenager, I would take any medication that someone would throw my way. And then when that cleared up, I started modeling. And when you're modeling and traveling the world, I really been in a lot of wonderful cities, but it was not very conducive to a healthy, quote-unquote, organic lifestyle. I would be eating ice cream, pizza, pasta, sushi, and any snacks you can find after midnight, right? I remember Tokyo, we would go out, go into an AM, PM in the middle of the night, we would raid it, and we would go home in a huge basket of crap. You know,
what?
Not very healthy things. Censorship, right? Pretzels dipped in chocolate.
Not Addictive Wellness chocolate back in the day.
Oh God! Oh no! I don't even think you can call that chocolate. It was a bastardization of that holy food, really. I can't even imagine. And really, I would be eating ice cream, like one cone would be ice cream and other cone would be just whipped cream. And sugar overdose. So I started, for a while your body can handle it because I really had a good solid start.
You built through the way you grew up, you had a strong foundation.
So it took a good 10 years to sort of destroy that. But when it started coming out, I went to pieces, guys. I found out I had such a very bad heavy metal poisoning. My teeth pretty much rotted away, so I had a lot of root canals, which is a root of all evil. I can't wait for us to have an episode about this and share the information with you guys. I had the worst parasitic infections. I had candida. Oh my God. And then when I realized that what I'm eating is making me sick, I started throwing up. So I developed the greatest bulimia for a year that really destroyed my teeth and my stomach even more. And of course, it's also destroying your mind, because whatever you're trying to nourish your body with, you just puke it up several times a day.
And it's so interesting how the way we're taught is that the ultimate body to have is the body of a model. And actually in the pursuit of the body of a model and in the lifestyle of a model, it's actually so unhealthy that it leads to complete implosion and destruction of the whole system.
And on a side note, the men I was with when I was skinnier as a model, I was not happy with. When I became more of a woman with curves, I met this guy and who appreciates it, and I've never been happier. Actually, he really loves my hips. When I got a little bit of more hair.
I love it. It's just so nice.
You want to share how you call it?
No.
He loves the hips. Maybe we'll tell you guys some other time. Anyhow, it was not good. And because of my root canals, my immune system was so compromised that if a bacteria or a virus just looked at me, I just caught it. Took it home, became best friends. Sometimes they stuck with me for months or years. Actually, I got a very bad infection that actually they call it antibiotic resistant, and it could have killed me. And I didn't take the antibiotics, and it was a big gamble. I was able to get rid of it with some incredible silver solution. That was actually a miracle. So the more I realized how I compromised my entire life and my lifestyle, and I couldn't go on like that. I was in Los Angeles, and I was doing more and more research and completely took charge of my life and my health. And it took a while, a long, long while, to build back my health to be as robust as it is again today. That research is I can suggest and recommend it to everybody else, because conventional doctors, if I went to see someone, they would just want to give me antibiotics, more antibiotics. I can't even think of any other advice I would get for any of my problems.
You never got other advice than take antibiotics?
Come to think of it, no.
Really?
No.
Wow.
No, not even nutritional advice.
Well, root canals.
Yeah. Well, anyhow.
Root canals plus antibiotics.
Root canals, antibiotics. Rock on, guys.
A double dose of awesome Western medicine.
It took me a long time to get rid of all my root canals. This dental research that was a good 15 years of my life, from finding out about the heavy metals and amalgams effects and the root canals effects on my health. I didn't just jump into taking care of it, really. I did a good 10 years of research, and it took me, anywhere I went, I was talking to people, from heads of dental departments in Vancouver to dental specialists from Sweden to Monaco, Japan, LA, New York. I even took a trip to this 92-year-old gentleman in Wisconsin who had like almost 100-year research. I'm joking because he was almost 100 years old, but he was an incredible expert. So I really did a great research.
What happened when you went and saw him?
Oh, he was the first one who ever did this amazing 3D X-ray.
Yeah.
And I sat down with him, Dr. Cook, it was his name. Oh, he was such a sweetheart. Elderly folks I have such a soft spot for elderly ladies and gentlemen. Sage knows that I just melt. So we had a great talk with him, and he told me that the only way I can take care of my health, and mind you, at the time I was in my 20s, and he said, I have to remove all of them, and I have to have
all of your teeth.
all of my root canals. And actually, he was one of the first one who started studying even the speed of the drill, how they affect the teeth and its life. Oh, he was just an incredible gentleman. He really did the research of all his patients, and he was putting their dental health or whatever has been done on them, and looked at the result of their health decades later. So he really had some data to back up what he found. And he told me that I have to have dentures. So I pull out of his parking lot. I stopped on the side of the road in my rental car. And this is, I say, it's middle of Wisconsin, and I sobbed and I cried. And I'm like, oh, am I gonna find Mr. Right? Honey, I'm going to sleep. I'm putting my dentures out. And I'm in my 20s. I was like, oh my God, it was a disaster. But soon later, actually, I found out about this great invention, the zirconium dental implants, and there came up another 5-6 years of long journey, which I don't want to go into that because that would take us off the track. But
yeah, we'll get there in another episode.
We'll talk about it some other time because it was a very long research, really around the world, and things I found out, and my long emails with people who were inventing all kinds of stuff. Long. We'll get into it. If you're interested, we'll let you know. And after that, I was like getting more and more, step by step, back to the strength and the health that I really, really wanted for myself. And I was in LA, and I eventually met this amazing guy. Actually, I met Sage at the Era 1 tonic bar, which is very legendary. It was a trend-setting, healthiest, you can call it a market, but they had a tonic bar.
And it's a natural food store that has a built-in elixir bar, and it's still an amazing place, but in its heyday, it was really the epicenter of the Los Angeles health scene.
Yes. And he was. We were both there for an incredible talk by David Wolf. And then once we met, I learned even more about tonic herbs, superfood, and we were always very, very supportive of each other's health journey. And I really, really love that.
All right. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining us. And if you enjoyed this, if you want to hear about some of the other recipes and things we're doing and some of the other really fascinating health topics we'll be talking about, please make sure to click subscribe below. And we're so happy you joined us, and we hope to see you again soon.
I am as well. Thank you so much for listening to me. I really love to share anything that you're interested in. And some of these little subjects that we mentioned here and there, infrared saunas or grounding, or root canals, and anything else about dental health, we are slowly going to talk about them in different episodes. So stick with us. We have a lot of fun information and tips that we would love to share with you.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.